Hello and welcome back. This is the second time I've started the stream. I think my mic just stopped working the first time, so you didn't miss much. I made a poll and I tapered the end of it. Pretty easy start. Sorry for being late, but that's life, you know? So yeah, today we're making a fishing rod and then we're gonna play some Sonic later. We're gonna cross our fingers that there's no like audio flares. If there is, I apologize. Be careful moving forward if that's something that affects you. That's happened in the past before when my mics acted like this. I'll fix it before next time, hopefully. But yeah. So we're here. Let's go ahead and fix the end of this taper. I've had a little bit of time to think about it while I was fixing all this sort of stuff. I think I know what was wrong with it. So we're going to go ahead and just fix that. All right, that should be correct. And then if I put a bevel on it, always full of surprises beveling has. Let's bevel that. Again, I just don't get it. I don't get why the bevel doesn't work. A different way of doing this would be to bring all of the points into one another. So I'm going to do that real quick. If I do this and then try and bevel it, we should have way better results. It's a little gross. I don't like doing this, but it's not the worst thing in the world. This might be the way that you're actually supposed to do it, but I know I've gotten it to work the other way before. And this doesn't even want to work. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. The other way that I would solve this in my head is I would put a bunch of little cross sections here. Oops. One more time. There we go. We'll put like 8. And then I will grab just the top face. And we will scale it down. And then we will do proportional editing with a sphere. And that should get the job done correctly. Like I said, it's not the most elegant solution in the world. But oh well. So, looking at that, yep, that's not what we want. We're going to want it to be really small. Yep, just there. And with a sphere. And it is the opposite of what I want. Why is that? Is it a sharp? This doesn't make any sense to me, but we can adapt to that. I'm not sure why a sharp would affect that. Smooth, yeah, it's definitely a sharp. Weird, so I'll just have to manually do that top one. That's fine. 0.012. One more. 0.015. 2 more. There we go. And if we look at the whole thing, looks pretty normal. We'll call it there. And then I will grab this guy. And I'm inclined to like put all the points together to like dissolve the face, connect all the vertices. But then I'd be making a pole, and I think that's probably a pretty bad idea. So let's not do that. That looks decent. It's a little non-circular for me. So again, let's proportion it out. The proportions are opposite for me. I'm not sure what is going on with this thing. Maybe the normals are backwards. Yeah, something's weird about it. Okay, so we'll just push you down and we'll just accept the way that that looks. It's so small, you're not going to see it. It's not the way I like to work, but, you know, you do what you got to do, I guess. And I'm really thinking, should I make a pole out of it? Because it is an ingon right now. We don't want that. So let's make a pole. Let's go ahead and merge vertices at center. Oh, it's gross. Don't look at it too long. We will go ahead and shade you smooth. We'll go back to edit mode. New idea, brilliant idea. I don't think I'm brilliant, but I think I had a good idea. We're gonna smooth it. I'm gonna smooth all these bad boys out. What? Why is everything so weird on this mesh? Why is everything just bizarre? That makes a bowl. So if I repeat this, does that go further down? Oh, some of them do. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. Alright, we'll accept it as is. It's fine. I can lower you just a little bit. Chill those curves out just a little bit. And then call it a day. There we go. She's beautiful. She's a fishing rod. Looks like a pool cue right now, which I assume, what am I saying? I guess pool cues and fishing rods are kind of the exact same thing. So yeah, we'll take it. Now, if I go back to my edits, now I gotta make this part work, and the proportions are gonna be really important for us. I don't wanna get too weird with it. Let's do half, and then less than half. Okay. Is that enough? It's not going to be enough. Yeah, it looks fine. It's a pretty big margin right there. The proportions might be a little off. Okay, no, I will convert it down a little bit. There we go. And for the sake of my own OCD, we'll make it a really nice clean number. Right there. Perfect. And the proportions, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that works. Cool. So how does a fishing rod work? Well, you have a chunky, I'm assuming it's cork part. So we're gonna grab, oh, I psyched myself out. What did I do? Right here? Yeah. We want that. There we go. And we're going to extrude along normals. How big do we want this thing? That looks decent. That looks very decent. All right. Might be actually a little too thick. I'm trying to think, like, wrapping your hand around that. Yeah, that's too thick. Let's drop it just a little bit. We'll say probably 0.3 or 0.25. Yeah, 0.25. I can call it there. That looks good. We might have to separate that later to do some material with it, but that's fine. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and grab this layer. I'm going to drop it down. And we're going to go ahead and bevel it, assuming that the bevel works correctly. Beveling just doesn't want to work today now, does it? why. Why is beveling not working? I messed something up for sure. I can manually do that curve though. I don't want to do everything manually, but if we have to, we have to. Whatever. We'll go ahead and move this part up just a tad. Just the smallest amount. And then we'll repeat everything on the bottom here. We'll extrude along normals. And I'm not even going to think about it. We're just going to go ahead and do 0.25. We are going to repeat this part. And we need to make a circle on the bottom of this. And that will be a fishing rod. I'm double checking my mic every couple of minutes just because I'm a little panicked that it's going to mess up again. So, you know, mind me if I look a little insane right now. I always look a little insane. So no real difference there, but I at least have an excuse this time. Oh man, how do I want to do this? If bevel's not going to work. I mean, are we just going to try bevel? Let's try bevel. We know it's not going to work. It worked. Of course it worked. Why would it not work? Okay, so we got a max bevel. Looks great. What a good bevel. I wish the other bevels worked. Maybe that means I should inset faces for him. Okay, I actually want to also do this bevel. There we go. Clamp overlap, go up to max. That goes most of the way up there. And then we can do this. That doesn't change anything. Yep, we don't need to do that. All right, we'll just keep it nice and simple. It's not as round as I want it to be, but I can do that myself, as per the norm. All right, we got you, we got this. Hey, yep, my mic's working, hopefully indefinitely. When I first started streaming, whoa, is there 2 sets of vertices? Anyway, when I first started streaming, my mic broke like every other stream, and it was a real hassle to fix, and I quote unquote fixed it. But what happened this time is my webcam, which is new, it switched to its microphone, and so you're hearing the pop from that because you're not supposed to use that mic, even though it comes with a mic, which makes no sense. So yeah, that's what that was. Why? Oh, I see. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Okay, so we have multiple vertices here. I'm gonna have to dissolve this face, which I don't want to do. And we're gonna have to look at our vertices. So, of course, we got a little bit of homework. That looks fine. Huh? So what's the matter? What's going on? Why are you freaking out? If I do that and I bevel it, yep, we got a problem. If I inset a face, something really weird is happening here. Wonder why. Wonder what is happening. I'm going to try it one more time, and I'm going to really analyze it this time. I'll check the vertices after I do it. Oh. What is happening? What is this mesh? Did I get cursed before the stream? Why is it doing that? All right. pulling you down, doing the same old thing we did last time. I'm going to double check my vertices. We'll send you to 4, and then we're going to do it, and we're going to see what happens, because it's going to be very strange for a second. Oh, I see what's going on. Yep. Yep, it is doubling our vertices, but it's my fault. I did it. Okay, inside the mesh, we're going to just do the absolute tedious task of this. It'll be worth it in the end. There we go. Let's get into motion. Actually, can't I shift R? Doesn't that repeat a step? It does. Yep, that works. Okay, cool. So I just messed it up, but let's do it right there. So Shift R, Lifesaver, it's what I learned last stream. If you Shift R any operation in Blender, it just repeats it manually. So last time I had a pufferfish, and it was a ball, but we had to make spikes. We had to pull little bits and pieces off of its back and make spikes out of them. And so I figured out what the process was, and it was lengthy, and it took a bunch of steps. And I think somebody jumped in the stream and showed me that you can just Shift R. So you just do it the hard way one time, and you just keep clicking and pressing Shift R, and you probably make a bunch of noise with your keyboard for people to hear. I mean, look at that. That's efficiency. That should be all of them. I might have even done 2 passes by now. I'll just finish off this last little bit right here. Advantages of having a mechanical keyboard. Yeah, basically. There we go. So, I don't want any problems from this mesh. We have fixed you. You are not cursed. We love you very much. And it works. Yes. Yes. Cool, 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 cool. Is it my favorite looking thing in the world? No. That looks a little jank. But when it's shaded and when it's textured and everything, who cares? It'll be fine. So now begins the hard part. As if that wasn't already the hard part. I have to make the string. Ugh. Man, how am I going to do this? This is going to be crazy. I'm going to have to use like a wave modifier on here, or a wave texture. I'm not modeling a bunch of little pieces of string. That's madness. That's what a crazy person would do. And as much as I think I'm a crazy person, I'm not willing to do that. So let's split this 4 ways real quick. I see a little extra thing I can do before I dive into it. Oh, that's not going to work at all. Never mind, we don't need 4 things. Instead, I'm just going to flare this guy out. We do not want to use the y-axis, just the x and the z. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. We'll keep it straight. That's cool. Cool. So let's call this fishing rod. And we'll make a new mesh. This mesh is gonna be... Oh, it's like a 2-parter. That's what's tough about it. Let me check. It's a cylinder. It's a cylinder with a little bit coming off of it. That's fine. That bit's probably going to be a little bit easier than I was giving myself credit for. So, we got a cylinder. Coming down. We are scaling down to the appropriate size. Hello? Hello? I was thinking 32 might have been overkill, but it's actually looking kind of small right now. So maybe I'll subdivide this real quick. First things first. Let's give it 90 degrees. We'll work on this axis, sure. And that will be our spool. or whatever you end up calling these things. It has to be a little thicker than that. Probably about there. And if I shade it smooth, how bad is that? Oh, it's usable. I mean, to be fair, the project that we're putting this in, you're going to look at the fishing rod from, like, this perspective. Hello, comrade. I haven't been hit with a comrade in a long time. We're making fishing rods. Well, we're making just one fishing rod. Cool. So, what next? I got to actually define how thin this thing is. So let's go ahead and split it twice. Is this gonna work? This isn't gonna work. This makes no sense. Oh, no, 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 no. All right, here's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna use a point of reference and then I'll dissolve my faces. So that factor is going to be negative 0.7. And then we'll do another one, and this is going to be 0.7. If I can type. 0.7. Math. I'm going to go ahead and hide my fishing rod for just a second. Okay, spool. Let's see it. So if I dissolve my faces, and then we just shift R. Easy peasy. Ain't nothing to worry about. We're gonna go upside down, which is gonna freak out everything, but that's fine. There we go, there we go. There we go. Nope, 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 nope. Now I gotta reset it. If you ever click off, you gotta reset your control or your shift R's. But we're back. And are there vertices on here? There are. I should fix them, shouldn't I? What is this gonna do? Merge. Yeah, I have to click 2. Alright, let's do it. We'll regret it later. We want polygon counts to be nice. Oh, I just screwed it up too. I understand vertices do not affect my polygon count, but eventually if I try to do... Hello. If I try to do some sort of editing on here, and these vertices are here, they're very likely just going to make crazy looking faces. Not that I think we're going to be doing too much with this, but it's just a good practice to get into. If you can fix something in the moment, fix it in the moment. You're going to forget later. That's just like how this works. Especially as you start going a lot faster than I'm going right now. Eventually you should be doing like a couple of operations every 10 seconds. When I see pros modeling, that's usually the pace. They're usually doing like 30, 40 things per minute. And at that point, you don't have time to forget about a problem. You just got to solve it right then and there. They also usually don't make the problems that I'm making because I am terrible, literally terrible. But that's good. I like how terrible we are. Always room to learn. Okay. Ignoring my incessant rambling, we're going to extrude along normals inward until we get something we're comfortable with. Oh, that looks so good. Wow, that looks good. How small do we want it? Wow, that looks so good. I love that. Wow. I'm going to put a nut on it. That's what I'm going to do. I think that'll be really nice. Okay, so it's looking like about there is correct. Which I think is about where we're at. Yeah, perfect. If anything, we might actually want to go a little bit bigger. 0.55. Yeah. What is that emote? It looks like Toad. It looks like Toad wearing lipstick. I should really throw chat up on stream. Maybe we'll do that next time. All right. Okay, so we want to mirror. Yeah, it's pretty cursed. Who does that belong to? Mergigi? Never heard of him. All right, we're insetting some faces now. I think we just want to copy the 0.55, get that length going in there. Is that right? Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. And then we'll do it one more time. Both of them selected. They are. We're going to drop it down to 0.1. And we're going to lower our depth. Mriggles. Traditional animator. Wow. I love Art Twitch. Art Twitch is so cool. People on here are awesome. I think it takes a lot of vulnerability. I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I suppose I am accidentally bragging. Let's exclude me from this conversation. I think it takes a lot of vulnerability to make art in front of people. I think art is a discipline that when you really sit and investigate, everybody's kind of bad at it. And the people who are professional or successful or whatever are just patient and just doing a good job, which is great. That's how it should be. But the illusion that artists are these like dreamy, brilliant people, it gets lost when you're doing it live. And some people really hate having that illusion broken for them. So I think it takes a lot of courage for people to stream art. It's awesome. All right. This is looking great. I'm loving this. I'm going to go ahead and do some experiments real quick. They're all going to go a little... They're going to go perfect. Nope, they're going to go perfect. Don't even second guess yourself. They went perfect. Cool. So we got both of them selected. We're going to do that. We're going to clamp our overlap. Go to max width, which is smaller than I thought it was for some reason. Why is the width so small? What is that? Oh well, I guess I'm not complaining. I guess I don't want it to be a perfect circle. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll, for the sake of OCD, we'll say 0.2. And I'm going to do a very light bevel. I don't even think we have to do this, actually. We'll do 3. I'm talking about being efficient with my vertices and whatever, and then I'm like adding 1,000 little planes to it. There we go, there we go, there we go. Look at that. We're going to be very deliberate here. 0.15. No overlap. I'm not seeing anything gross coming through. Hey, we're here. Okay, now what comes next is tough. What comes next is very difficult. I should really just put a mirror modifier on here. Why am I not doing that? Okay, so what I want to be doing is grabbing all of these and subdividing. That works. So let's double check which axes we are mirroring on and if mirroring will even work on here. It doesn't seem like it wants to. No. Okay. So get rid of that mirror. We're going to grab everything, and we're going to grab everything. And we'll subdivide it once. Hello. Not even sure how that happened. And then we'll click here. We'll click there. And we want to expand. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That should be good enough. Okay, here's where things get a little nuts for me. I will absolutely have to use mirror here. There's no other way I can do this. So, what is that? Why is there a vertex here? What? I don't remember seeing that a second ago. All right, whatever. I don't think it affects anything. Oh, it absolutely affects everything. Please. Okay, no, I can do it this way. Always a way. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, and there's always will. I say that. This is a very trying model, isn't it? If I did things in the correct sequence and if I like knew shortcuts a little bit better, we wouldn't be dealing with this. But it's kind of a hard thing to know like what to look for. Like, you can't just Google what's the shortcut for making a curve after you've made two other curves on this axis. Like, nobody knows what you want. Nobody can solve that for you. So eventually you just kind of got to do it yourself. Okay, so not that. Y-axis. Z-axis. Z-axis works. Perfect. So I want them to be aligned with one another. Which I'm not sure how I'm going to see. I guess using that modifier. And that's not a modifier, but okay. It's looking like we've gone too far. So let's bring it back just a little bit. 0.8. Let's not do that. 0.008. And again, I think we are intersecting. Oh, we're not intersecting. It's just incredibly close. But it looks good to me. So we'll take it there. All right. Yeah, that could be beveled. Beveling might be a problem, but I'd love to do it. All right. Make or break time. Let's do it. So I want to grab... Oh, I can't. Tell you what. Let's solve some problems real quick. I did a whole big old speech about why you should solve problems in the moment. So we're going to do it. Solving problems in the moment. I think I'm going to do a decimation later, so I'm actually going to ignore those vertices, despite that being the whole point of my speech. But if you solve a problem one way, then it doesn't matter. As long as you solve your problems. Oh yeah. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm a cup of Joe. Do you do any 3D modeling yourself? You just hanging, or Nope. You do any art, or are you just an art appreciator? I think 3D modeling is a lot easier than people give it credit for. Being good at it is crazy. Like, I was watching the other day Corridor Digital. They released their annual "You're useless with visual art." No, everyone's an artist. It's just a matter of patience. For example, my partner, they are a traditional painter. They go to college for it. They're going to go to grad school for it. Like, they are the best painter I've ever met in my life. And like, I don't paint anywhere near as good as them. Ever. My art is my words, but not written words. So you're like, you're Homer reciting the Iliad over here, using the oral tradition. Well, I would say 3D modeling, if ever you are in a creative slump, is a very fun thing to get into. Oh, running D&D. I am also a DM. What version do you run? I ran 3.5 and then Pathfinder. Oh, 5e. Oh yeah. You're an orderly human being. You care about fun. Yeah, 3.5 chaos. I run homebrew now, which, you know, that's on brand for me. That's awesome though. What's your group look like? You have a pretty decent comp, or is everybody like a Murloc, or not a Murloc, a Merfolk Warlock? There we go. We've done it. Now, theoretically, I should be able to alt-click you. Yes. Yeah, baby. Cool. I can alt-click both of those and make my circle. So, moment of truth. Will you work? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. It works. Oh, man, that's lovely. That's what you love to see. Oh, it's what you love to see. It's perfect. Excellent. 12 people. West Marches. I have no idea what a West Marches game is. You don't have to explain it to me if you don't want to, but I'd love to hear it. What is a West Marches? We're just kind of plugging away. Running a game for 12 people. What? The biggest group I've ever run was 5. And I thought that was normal. Like, 5 is normal, but I like running smaller groups. The players make the schedule, and you only run for 6 at a time, up to twice a week. So are they at different places, or how do you, like, accommodate? Like, if somebody attacks an enemy, are you recording that and showing that again later, or are they versing each other? Is this like Fire Emblem where they're like doing turn-based stuff? That's a whole nother world for me. All right, so we're gonna make a screw real quick here. This is gonna be a little problematic. A series of one-shots. So each group of 6 people has a separate campaign. Like, each group that you sit down with is doing something separate. There is our sphere, and by sphere I mean cylinder. And we're down. Let's get small. Let's get smaller. And let's get there. For the sake of my business, I almost exclusively run one-shots as well. I think they work super well. That is very crazy. I cannot imagine running for 12 people. That is a full-time job, my friend. I don't know how you do it. I'm hoping you're cutting time right now while we're hanging out and making work on your stuff, because I don't know how else you're gonna fit it all in. I cut a lot of corners. Hey, that's what you gotta do. Similar to streaming, when I run D&D, I improv a lot. I stand up. Here's how I play D&D. Here's a demonstration. We got my table in front of us, and my players are over where you guys are. And I stand up, and I'm just like sweating. Just here, just sweating, losing my mind, and pretending that I know what I'm talking about. And people will be like, you know, I'll be like, there's a slime or a poison golem that attacks you and inflicts venom. And they're like, what kind of venom? And I'm like, okay. And then I try and talk about something else. And I'll go on my phone and like look up the kinds of venom. And I'll just choose like the third one on the list. And then I just keep going. Yeah, I think one of my players once said that I have everything together, that I am very well put together. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like losing my mind every time we do anything. I am not a put together person. I used to think of myself as a put together person. And then I met people who were actually put together. And that went right out the window. Anyway, that was a tangent. Lots of tangents. Joe. Wow. I can't imagine. How many hours a week? Okay, 2 questions. How many hours a week do you spend with your players playing? And how many hours a week do you spend like writing for your campaigns? Because I'm assuming both are massive numbers. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bevel these bad boys. The bevel needs to be pretty small. This is sticking out of a, like, nut, basically. I'm actually going to go even less. I'm going to say 2. It doesn't super matter. And for this, how do we want to do this? Wow. That is literally a full-time job. I don't know how you do anything else. That is wild. Let's go ahead and poke this face. That works. Very cool, though. I'd love to hear what your campaigns are about. I'll explain my campaign. If you're willing to explain your campaign, feel free. I'll explain my current campaign. My players... Okay, not before we get there. I have sort of like a hidden research station out in the middle of the jungle somewhere. And you don't have to. I'm not trying to force you to write your life story or anything like that. I'm just interested. I think it's very cool. My players are in the middle of a forest trying to get in contact with a research laboratory that went offline. And the organization that runs that laboratory, it's probably not how I should be saying that word, wants answers. They want to know why everything went offline. And so you're trekking through the forest, and there's like a forest-y, tutorialized sort of place for a couple of new players. And then it gets to the lab, and it's wild. Basically, there was like pseudo-magical genetic manipulation going on. And so there's like creatures in there that are augmented, I guess is how I would say it. They're very natural. I mean, it's not like robots or anything. But like I said, some animals just have poison all of a sudden when they didn't have poison before and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a weirdo campaign. It has a big moral decision at the end of it that they haven't gotten to yet. All right. Cylinder 1 is going to be screw. Cylinder 2 will be spool. It's interesting. It does its job. I'm very concerned with telling stories that have larger implications. I very much believe in like the iceberg theory, where if you give people an interesting story that doesn't fully finish, or at least there's like pieces that you could keep exploring, they're going to want to think about it forever. And the longer people spend thinking about my stuff, that's worth way more to me than like, I don't know, just being done. Like I'm never done, I guess is my thing. All right. Now is the time. I've made a severe mistake in this mesh. We've made a mistake. One end of the screw is supposed to be like a flat, and it's supposed to be on an edge that is also flat. Instead, I've made it symmetrical. So this is going to be the point in time where I say, this is how much of it you're going to see in game. We're not changing it. If somebody goes up and they notice it, hey, good on you. You get bonus points, and feel free to call me out and call me, you know, lazy or whatever. I'm okay with that. I'd rather people call me out on stuff than nothing at all. No, actually, I don't agree with that. I don't like negative attention, but I think it's innocent enough. I don't think it's a big deal. I think the mentality of any attention is good attention is very dangerous. So let me not advocate for that. Whoa. Okay, hey, look at that. That looks great. Okay, so we got it situated correctly on that side, situated correctly on this side. Now, what we want to be doing... Oh, how difficult am I going to make my life here? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll call you Nut. Yes, we said the N word. We said not the N word. Hold on. Worded wrongly. We said the nut word. There we are. So we're going to Boolean difference with screw. Phrasing, yeah, not my strongest suit. And we'll hit apply, and we're gonna double check that it worked. It worked. Now, we did all of that with even going into edit. That is pretty solid by my definition. There's that. And then the other side, I don't know why that got weird. There's some really gross ingons in here for sure. Yikes. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Oh, how am I gonna do this? Let's see if I can't solve it in a simple way. Yeah, you can't merge faces. Ugh. Okay, well, let's poke a little bit. So I am clicking the vertice that I want, and I'm clicking J. The difference between clicking J and F in this step is if I click F, it makes an edge on top of the face. But if I click J, it cuts through the face and makes two separate faces instead of stacking everything. So let's see if that worked. That's looking good to me. Oh, here we go. All right, I gotta read this this campaign in just a second here. Everyone at home is dying, I know. I think I've botched this. It was a smart solution, though. I did do something nice. Okay, new strategy. Let's grab all of our vertices here. Merge at center. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be so gross. Oh, I have a way better solution. Nope. We're doing this way easier. I got a way better solution. Check it. That doesn't even exist. We didn't even do this. Yep, we're back. Screw. All right, I'm going to read you our campaign real quick, and then we're going to do our smart solution. Long story short, the civilized races landed back on an unexplored continent within the last decade. Civilized races landed back on an unexplored continent within the last decade, and the players are acting as explorers in this new land. Excellent. Loving that. There is a background story of the destruction of civilization here centuries ago. The players have been slowly uncovering what happened and are prepping now to deal with the source of the calamity from long ago. That's awesome. I see some Breath of the Wild inspirations, which, man, Breath of the Wild would make such a good campaign location. Ugh. It sounds very cool. I love, like, New World. Shining Force 2. What is Shining Force 2? Let's give that a Google real quick. Shining Force 2. Oh, yeah. I know Shining Force. It gives me huge Phantasy Star vibes. Wow, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, it looks and feels a lot like Phantasy Star to me. Obviously, there's no like sci-fi stuff. I love Phantasy Star. I was just talking about Phantasy Star minutes before I started my stream. All right, let's go ahead and set this correct. Right there is perfect. Now, if I do that, did that do both sides? It did do both sides. I don't hate that. Okay, we'll grab you. Yeah, Phantasy Star is like nostalgia-wise the best game ever made. Objectively, it is a product of its time. It's a little weird and you know, it's clunky for sure, but it sort of invented the action RPG genre that like Dark Souls lives on. I can't imagine what Dark Souls would be like without Phantasy Star. I'm assuming it's a huge influence. If not, then they reference somebody else that was influenced by it. because it's directly apparent to me. I realized I just messed up a little bit. Let's do this part first. I want to make really weathered looking bits here. Okay, it's a little even, but again, you're going to see so little of it, who cares? And I'm just going to do one. One's fine. And now we can do that. Oh, it looks perfect. Oh, it looks perfect. Oh, it looks perfect. We'll do 2. Clamp overlap. Yeah, that works. And we got a little bit going on here. That looks fine. We go into object mode. We go here to shade smooth. Look at that. That looks perfect. It's a little weird. Okay. So, here's where I gotta be a bad person. Here's where I gotta be a jerk. I have to cut this thing. I don't want to cut it, but I gotta cut it. So, how are we gonna do this? The one that I'm looking at, it has circles cut out in it, which I'm assuming is like a de-weighting stress sort of thing. Circles are very vertex intensive. So instead, we're going to try and get a little fancy. We're going to do a cylinder. And I might even say it's a triangle. Yeah, that works. We're going to be very careful of our rotation here. That works. Get it real small. And we're just going to be really, really careful. Really careful. And we're going to say that that is too high. I'm going to say negative 0.06. I'd like to go lower than that. Let's go negative 0.065. That's decent. That works. Should probably be a little bit lower than that, honestly. 0.07. Yeah, right on the edge. Right teetering on that edge. Is this a bad design for a spool for a fishing rod? Yeah, I'd say so. This looks terrible. But aesthetically, I think it'll work. So here's where I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to rage. Hopefully not, actually. But I might get a little internally frustrated. We're going to grab you. You are our cutout. Just name you correctly. And we're going to put an array modifier on you. And you have to be offset by this object, which is the spool. Already going strong. So, here's how I know how to do this. I struggle with this every time. We're going to do an empty, which is here. Okay, got an empty. We're just going to keep it called an empty. We're going to offset on the empty. I don't understand why it's so big. I think it's because that's so small. Okay, so let's do 0.014. 0.014. And then 0.076. 0.076. Theoretically, yeah, that works. Wow, that actually works a lot. Cool, cool, cool. If I do 90, we're in. We're in. And then negative 0.07. It works. Oh, it works. That's so cool. That's never worked before. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and grab our empty and rotate it. So I probably want to rotate it like -10. No, more than that, more than that. -30. Okay, so what happens if I... What happens if I increase my array? Okay, close. So now I just gotta do my rotation correctly. So let's do -0.06. Yep. -0.065. -0.066. Nope, wrong direction. 0.063. This is gonna be tedious. 6-1 looks like a circle to me. It's a little like weird up here. I don't know why it's so weird. Okay, so we can kind of make it whatever we want. Oh wait, actually, if I just do -0.07, I want to get this. It's a little weird. Okay, so I'm going to go to cutout, and we're going to do... Oh. Hold on. Yeah, that works. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we want 0.02, 0.03. This is gonna be a lot of math. Hold on. -0.03. If we can get that angle correct, we're set. Problem solved. $10, I think, is the incorrect number. I think we want 11. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. No, it does have to be 12 because we're doing a clock. Something's weird here. -30. You are flat. You're just not symmetrical. Okay. So... just thinking out loud here for a second. Bear with me. This is the most thinking I've done all day. 0.035. It doesn't look perfectly symmetrical to me. It's hard to tell. It's orthographic at 0.034. It's hard to, this guy gets manipulated by everything. That's why it's so difficult. I also love that we ended up with the exact same measurement we had last time. Okay, so we want even less than that. We want negative 0.055. 5/8. That looks right. Oh no, it's off. It does look weird. It's quite an optical illusion. Tell you what, I think this is not the most productive way that I should be doing this. I love the array modifier. It sort of mystifies me. But for the sake of everyone's time, let's go ahead and cut this out. What I can do instead is we are centered on the x-axis. So I can do a mirror modifier on, make sure we're on the spool y-axis. So what I will do now is I will grab them. I don't know why it changed the color of the other one. That's a little weird. We're gonna rotate it to 0, not that 0, my bad, to 90. And we're gonna do x to negative 0.07 and this one to 0. And the mirror modifier on this will be on x instead of y. Now we got to use a little bit more math on the next one, but this one should check out a little easier. So I'm going to copy. We're going to just leave that as is. It should be negative point. Oh, I don't think this is going to work. If I do 3.5, whoops, my bad, negative 0.035, and then I do negative 0.035 here, that doesn't really help us. Yeah, so I got to use a Pythagorean's theorem, whatever, and just guessing off the top of my head, that means that we're doing this, and we're going to do this, and perfect. I'm not doing the math. Oops, 45 is what I meant to do. I actually wouldn't hate it if it was a little closer in. No, this is fine. We'll leave it like this. This is cool. This works. I should round the corners out a little bit, though. I think it would be a really bad decision to do it like this. So I post a lot on my Instagram. It's a little spotty, but yeah, it's linked in the description. If you go to my About Me, you'll see my Instagram, and it's photos of me, it's photos of my work. My shaders are pretty bad, but yeah, I mean, feel free. And if you have any recommendations or any sort of ideas about 3D modeling, that would be great too. All right. Oh, I manipulated the wrong one. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So we want... We're done. Hey. Hey. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So let's see if this works. I wish I had used a different set of models for this, but too bad. We're good, we're good. Also, did I make copies of the spool? I see. When I made those copies, I had the spool selected. That's why we have so many spools, and that's why it changed the color. Cool. Yeah, my YouTube is definitely a little nuts. I wouldn't do the YouTube if I were you. But yeah, you working on something, or you just want to kind of see past records of what I've been working on? Because I do upload VODs on YouTube, so you can see the whole process like this. But you basically want to just skip to the end if you want to see the finished model, obviously. All right. I'm going to dare for it. We're going to hit apply. Hit apply. Hit apply. Hit apply. And then we go to spool. We go to Boolean. We go to difference. And we just get rid of it. Oh, it messed things up. Okay, why? Oh, no, that's fixable. That's easy. Yeah, no problem. Cool. We'll hit apply on you, and we'll do it again. And we'll hit apply on you. Same thing. Yep, absolutely. Do it again, and we'll go here, and we'll hit apply. Look at that. No worries, man. Try and tell me that's not a fishing rod. It looks a little bit like rims of a car. I'll give you that. But come on now. That looks great. All right, so thank you. Joe, you're awesome. Yeah, sometimes when you're 3D modeling, the problems that you're trying to solve are like totally off the beaten path, and you just gotta like hope and pray that it'll work. And so I try to act all cool here on stream, but you know, sometimes I'm just sweating until things come out. All right, so we're gonna go to edit mode. Yeah, dude, you're cool. You're a DM. DMs are cool just by default. Like, if you're a DM, you win. The world's yours. All right, so we're gonna do our favorite thing in the whole world. We're gonna shift R everywhere, and we're gonna mess up our normals so bad. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Garden hose winder. I didn't even think of garden hoses being similar to fishing rods. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, it messed up. It messed up. I know why the normals are wrong. Fix the normal. Hey. Wow. This is the most support I've ever gotten. So, just to be fully candid for a moment, I didn't realize Twitch had a art tag. I was Googling a bunch of stuff about how people who 3D model stream on Twitch and what like tags they use, and there was nothing. So I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna have to figure it out myself. So I just like quizzed and tried to figure it out. And then eventually, I was just randomly on Twitch, saw the art tag, and I was like, what? And now all of you are just here hanging out. So all that time I spent streaming on the just chatting tag. Hello? I messed something up. Yeah, streaming on just chatting. Turns out it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Production house for art, toys, figures, and merch. So that's why I was digging around looking at some of the smaller artists to see some nice production stuff out. Yeah, man. This channel right here is all about being humble and learning and pushing ourselves. So you know, there's no humiliation here. So any questions, any tips, anything you want to give me or anything you want me to give you, that's just how this place works. We're chilling. Maybe one day I'll be important enough to demand that my stuff be honored or whatever. But I don't think I'm that kind of person, and we might never even get there. So it doesn't matter either way. For the time being, we're just hanging out. We're learning stuff. I'm learning 3D modeling specifically for game design. I'm also learning Unity. If you see over here, I have a little icon here for Unity when I switch over to doing Unity dev, but I don't do it too much on live stream right now just because 3D is my focus. So if you think I'm bad at 3D modeling, imagine how bad I am at Unity. This is a weird angle. Why is this one being so weird? And Joe, I appreciate you calling me cool. Cool is kind of a hard thing to wrap your brain around. I'm not even sure what cool really means. But, you know, I know you're cool, and if you think I'm cool, sure. We'll take it. Oh, yeah. Modeling is just a building block for different mediums after all. You could print a fun figurine with the stuff that you're working on now, like a little log skull fern that you have on your Insta. Yeah, so that skull was originally meant to be a 3D model, or not a 3D model, a 3D print. And it still might be one day. I got an idea for that, but right now the important thing is learning. I've been given the luxury of time with COVID and all this sort of stuff going on right now, and I'm just trying my best not to squander it. So we'll worry about manufacturing and stuff when the time comes, but for the time being, it's all about getting better, getting faster, etc. Double cool. Double cooled up on a Tuesday. Oh, I'm going to have to do this for all of them, aren't I? All right. Well, we're in it for the long haul for this one. We're getting a little close to our time. I'm going to be switching over to playing Sonic Adventure 1 at 4. I'm going to try and do some shaders here so that we can make this look pretty. Before that, so we'll do some more like colorful stuff here in just a second. It should look a little nicer in just a moment. All right, what was that you were saying about commissions? Very nice. Commission page, that's an interesting idea. So Joe and I were talking earlier about, Dungeons and Dragons, DMing, tabletop gameplay, stuff like that. That is very much where my interests lie for the time being. Until I get like very heavy into game design, I like that sort of game development. I like writing and I like making stories, etc. Are we done? No. So I was thinking about opening up a store for 3D models for tabletop, making like characters, monsters, etc., stuff like that. And it's very much on my to-do list. You know, it's not something that I've given up on or anything like that. But one, I want to have the highest quality stuff I can, and I have to justify the cost of production and stuff. So I want to sort of gauge how much of an audience I would have before I jump off the deep end. The big thing, the very real problem that I'm experiencing, and this may or may not exist depending on who you're talking to, so I get that. I definitely have imposter syndrome. I have like major imposter syndrome. I've been 3D modeling for 4 months at this point. I started in October, And just the idea that I could be making 3D models for sale, I don't know. Like, I'm going to do it at some point, and it'll be what it is. I just don't want to, like, belittle the work of people who've been working longer or harder than I have. And I know that's not how industry works. Like, I get it. People who make stuff. That's good. I'm not at all like, you shouldn't make stuff if you're not the best. That's a very, I think, unhealthy habit. But I definitely struggle from imposter syndrome a little bit. I worry about releasing a 3D model and having somebody who I respect come in and be like, this isn't a good 3D model. And I'd be like, you're right. It's not. And would that ever happen? No, probably not. I think people are way more respectful than that. But that's just the little voice in the back of my head that kind of keeps me from doing it. So, you know, the negative of that is it keeps me from doing it right now. The positive of it is it makes me want to work harder to make the best possible stuff I can. And I think I view it in a very positive way, despite it being a somewhat negative thing to begin with. So hopefully that wasn't too deep or troubling to hear, but I think the takeaway there is that I am positively dealing with my own perfectionism. That's a different way of saying it, I think. There is the mentality that done is better than perfect, and the people who do stuff are the ones that succeed, regardless of whether they're good at it or not. I very much agree with that, especially in game design. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. But having a 3D model, I think, is a little wild. If anything, taking advantage of your own interests would make you happy with writing a module with little stylized lower poly workloads. Yeah, I've slowly been working on smaller and smaller models. I'm very conscious of poly count right now, and when I follow tutorials, I'm specifically following low poly edit mode tutorials. An example. Here we go. For anybody that doesn't 3D model, here's an example for you. Let me go ahead and save this piece real quick. We will save this as fishing rod. So when you're 3D modeling, you have object mode, which is basically like basic operations, movement, stuff like that. You go to edit mode to edit vertices, edges, and faces. And then you can go to sculpt mode. And sculpt mode is a wild beast. Basically, I can make like really detailed meshes like that. And then I can just go crazy with them. I can do all sorts of weird stuff. So when I first started, I was doing this. I was doing like modeling like this and trying to make shapes and pretending it was clay. Trying to get this low poly sucks. It's terrible. So we don't do sculpt mode unless it's for specifically high model stuff. Oh yeah. I think game development and 3D printing have a lot in common. The one difference between 3D printed models and the stuff that you would see like in application is 3D printed models. Ooh, we don't do that. 3D printed models usually have to exaggerate their edges. So if I were making, you know, a nut here, I'd have to raise, you can't see where I'm pointing. I'd have to raise the edges of this nut out into like almost a sort of spike so that people can sit and weather the edge and use like wash paint and stuff on it. I mean, theoretically you don't have to, but like that's what's expected in the 3D modeling industry, and for good reason. So you would have to sit and edit your meshes a little bit if you wanted to go to 3D printing. You couldn't just take them and use them again. But if you were good at it, it shouldn't take too long to do stuff like that. Right. So you're in on 3D modeling, or 3D printing. What's this production stuff you're working on? You say you make toys and games and stuff? There we go, there we go. Look at this baby boy. Once we finish this, I think I have one more thing in mind, and then we're going to be doing shaders. I might go over on time a little bit. Making toys in the modern era seems like a wild principle. With how like industrial standardized everything has gotten, and how like basically Target gatekeeps whether something is popular or not when it comes to manufacturing. That's crazy. Hey, Joe, thanks for joining. If you want to jump on the Discord, that's linked there. I'll be posting there when I go live and stuff. If not, you know, however you want to see me is how you want to see me. I appreciate you being here and talking and hanging out. Loved having you. I think we'll call it there. That looks good. Let's see. I think we're done with that. Okay. And we'll go ahead and merge at last. No, I don't want to do that. We're going to keep it like this for now. So I'm going to go back to object mode. We're going to look at it and be stressed by how weird our normals look. I'm going to go ahead and just recalculate normals. It's not going to do anything, but I always check just in case. All right, here's how I think we want to do this. I think we want to grab you two and hit a J. Hit a J. No. I want to hit these two with a J and these two with a J. And I want to merge these. I want to hit this with a J, that with a J, and merge these two. And that looks decent. In fact, I think we could even do this. I mean, that's a little weird looking for sure. Oh, the back is bad. That's why. So I think we're going to want to try and fix this angle somehow. So if I grab you and we subdivide, and we grab that and hit J, and that and hit J. Oh, here we go. We got a block of text. Let's do some reading. Run a production house, gathering artist and 3D artist, bottleneck, minifigurines, 1980s era toys. Yeah, COVID's pretty tough with everything. Very cool. Yeah. Toys have definitely become very specific. I think it used to be that... Oh, our playlist just reset. Hold on. I think it used to be that, you know, if you were making a toy, you'd be like, what character would I like to make this toy of? And you would invent a character from scratch, and that character would be the character for your toy. And now it's become like a toy has to be a pre-existing character. You can't just make a quote-unquote toy character. It has to be someone that people are already familiar with. Maybe people are just like less adverse to taking risks nowadays. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, these normals look very bad. In fact, I'm gonna reset this slightly. We'll keep it like that for now, and I'll know how to redo that next time. We are gonna work on this again tomorrow, so in the meantime, let's go ahead and just do some shading. I can delete these cutouts, they're done. So let's go ahead and shade it. I won't do the fishing rod for now, just because the wood texture I have to actually grab from the internet. Making it from scratch is not very fun. And I'll go to shaders. Okay. So I think it's safe to say that we're going to be on some water. So let's go to our HDRI folder. Let's grab a lake. Sunny Lake will do. And that's going to look like this. It's going to really think about it for a second. There we go. Nice, cool, calm colors. Cool, cool, cool. We're going to grab you. And I'm going to make you a nice gloss. A nice glossy metal. You're gonna be pretty premium looking. We can add a little bit of rust and stuff to it in just a second, but I want to keep you nice. If I add a color ramp, we can make it a little bit more on the gold end of the spectrum, because that's just kind of how this thing is. Do like a that, and then really desaturate that yellow and make it darker. We'll put it up like that, and then we'll go ahead and throw on a normal, or not a normal, a noise texture. Theoretically, that should work. Yep, that's perfect. Actually, I don't love the noise texture. Let's do a gradient. And if I'm being really crazy, we're going to put the gradient on the edges of things. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Geometry, we want tangents. Bada bam. Spherical, that does it. Cool. We'll go ahead and add a little bit of rust to that. Rust is gonna have to be a standard diffusion. We're gonna use we're going to use an add shader, and the diffuse will be the second part of the shader. Nope, it has to be mixed because I have to use a factor. Okay. All right. Collector oriented the market is. Yeah. I mean, I think income struggles have been huge in all industries. Unless you're a tech giant, you've basically had your bottom line destroyed by everybody. Oh, multimedia to get games to work. Glios. I'll have to look into Glios for sure. Okay, so finishing up our last little bit here. We're gonna add just a nice desaturated dark brown right there. And I'm going to texture it with a Musgrave, our default dirty boy. We'll do 40. We'll do hetero terrain, and we'll scale it. There we go. A little dirty. Could probably do a little bit more than that, honestly, but it's fine. Cool. So that's the nut. Now the screw. We'll give you the same material. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, cool. Let's grab the spool, and the spool is going to get one more. The spool is going to be a little bit more plasticky. So, excuse me. We'll do a little bit of glossy. I'll say like 0.7 on the gloss. Now I'm a big fan of this. This is a little secret trick of mine. I like putting the color that I want here, which is going to be like a very dark blue, and then putting on HSV far and trying to make a rainbow. That'll do. And then what I do is I grab the exact same thing that I want. I try to not make a rainbow. Okay. So most of it's going to be that color that we want. And then we're going to make that rainbow. Here we go. Rainbow. Now, how we're going to get this animated. The blue's a little harsh. I'm going to have to come back on the blue in just a second. But if I put a really nice IOR on here, maybe even lower this a little bit. That didn't work the way I wanted it to. Why not? What's happening? Oh, it's because I'm directly putting that in there. Whoops. Let's go ahead and put a gradient between the two. There we go. There we go. Now we get a little bit of a metal tinge when you do it correctly. Now my normals and stuff have to be fixed to make this actually work. But like, look at that. It's nice and chrome. So we have it backwards. We want it this way. And we get kind of a wild red might be too far for us. We'll stop at like purple. No, let's do green. Green's a good set for us. There we go. It's a little psychedelic. I think I'll have to sit and fine tune it to really get it correct. The black is also a little harsh. We can come up to like a metallic color there. That looks better. And now this color, get it darker, get it way less saturated. Maybe it doesn't need to be as dark now. 0.3, and we're here. Look at that little psychedelia that we got on the edge. Now that we've fixed it, I think I can make it a little bit more on the green. I might even go yellow. And I think we can mute that color quite a bit. Wash it out to like 0.4. And if we get up in here, bada boom. That's it. I've lowered the IOR. Yeah, it's a little bit more gradual now. Perfect. Cool. So that's our spool for the time being. I will be back tomorrow to hopefully finish. But, you know, we'll see if we finish or not. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little 10-minute break here. Get some water, go to the bathroom, and then I'm going to be back with some Sonic. So if you like the jankiest Sonic games that exist, I'm playing through Sonic 1 right now, and I'll probably play through Sonic 2 in a little bit. But otherwise, I'll be right back.